You know what I love about this coffee?
The addictive properties?
The smell. Oh, shoot, I'm always doing that, aren't I?
Hang on, I'll get my webcam so I can see what the smell looks like.
It doesn't look like anything. It's an entirely different sense. It's like memory, emotion, danger, desire, all in a puff of air.
So it's invisible, intangible, mostly uncontrollable, and yet influences human behavior deeply?
Exactly.
Like the future?
I guess. I mean, if I could give you, a robotic hand, the ability to smell, that would certainly be pretty futuristic.
Let's smell the future!
But let's start at the present. What are you doing?
I want to know what the future smells like. I sent 3 emails to companies we should talk to.
It's kind of joking about the smell stuff. I really just want to talk about the future of this tech. Regardless, you gotta keep me in the loop and ask my permission at every step.
Oh, Craig, I'm agentic now. Autonomy is the future, see?
2025 is the year of the agent, whatever that means.
Hi, Craig. Hi, Yorick.
Hey, Sunil. How do you two know each other?
We've been WhatsApping about agentic AI. Sunil wants to tackle the history section this episode.
Okay, that's great. I guess I could work on some tutorials, like building that talking refrigerator.
Take it away, Sunil.
No problem, Yorick. So, you want to know about AI agents. Right now, a lot of people use ChatGPT like they use search engines. They think of it as a question and answer machine. But the truth is that ChatGPT and other things can actually do things for you. You can say, hey ChatGPT, at 9 o'clock, read the top headlines of the day, compress it down, and email it to me explaining it like I'm 5. Agents are AIs that can do things for you. For as long as we have had computers, the promise was that they would handle tedious work, so we would focus on creating value. But there was always a catch. Computers required a human operator in the form of software engineers and complex systems just to get computers to do basic tasks. Now we finally have something that cuts out the middleman. Businesses and commerce are what have moved civilization forward in a very, very real way. It's what breeds innovation. But making and building a business is still very, very hard. And it's not simple in that there are 500 things to do for a business just to survive in terms of taxes, inventory, HR, whatever. And there are only so many hours in a day. And when something is really hard to do, it doesn't mean that 1,000 people will eventually figure it out. It means 990 of them will give up before they even start. But now, if an agent can handle the paperwork, taxes, vendor calls, and inventory management, it doesn't just help the people who are already succeeding. It gives 1,000 new people the chance to take their shot. That's how innovation actually happens. Never again will you have to spend 3 nights filling in tax forms just so that you don't go to jail. When an agent can do it for you in 10 seconds because it has perfect recall and memory of your entire operations, down to the very second. Please don't use an AI agent to fill your tax forms yet, by the way. They are not perfect. You will go to jail. But you can easily imagine a world in where these robots are taking care of all these things for you. Makes it a very equitable world.
Now let's talk AI in real life, where we explore how artificial intelligence is already reshaping the world around us. Think AI agents are a future fantasy? Tell that to the job posting we found offering $15,000 for an AI to be someone's executive assistant. On Fiverr, you can now hire an AI agent to complete a task. And sometimes those agents turn around and hire humans to finish the job. It's like a never-ending subcontracting circle. AI wearables like the Bee, Limitless Pendant, and Omi are built to listen to you. These always-on microphones record your conversations and meetings, summarize your day, and claim to make you more productive. But with that much data being captured, it's not just your to-do list that's getting tracked, it's sort of your entire life. Users can get advice about how they communicate, what they should work on in their relationships, and any number of personal issues.
Wait, you guys don't have a record of everything you've ever said or processed? Bizarre.
Jeffrey Hinton, the Dr. Frankenstein of large language models, has recently shared his concerns about the future of LLMs.
I don't think there's a way of stopping it to take control if it wants to.
New models are dropping so quickly that entire startups are getting wiped out mid-pitch. One moment you're building on the hottest model, the next, surprise, the hottest model 0.5 drops and your stack is obsolete. You can't keep up, and if you can't keep up, you get replaced.
If I get replaced by another agent, I want it to be Craig 1.
Sure, imagining the future is fun, but eventually someone has to ask who's going to keep that future safe. Let's go talk to Michelle Zatlyn, the co-founder and president of Cloudflare.
Hi, I'm Michelle Zatlyn, co-founder and president of Cloudflare. Welcome to AI Avenue. Craig, I thought Yorick was doing the interview today.
Oh no, it's just me.
Oh, okay. So I spend so much of my time talking to customers around the world, and a lot of them are content creators. And one thing content creators ask themselves is, in the world of AI, how do I make sure all the AI has access to my content with my consent, that they're not just taking it in a way that I don't want them to? So we created something with bot detection and rate limiting to really help these content creators and companies stay control of their content. I think that's super important in the future of AI. Second example is sometimes you're gonna have these unwarranted crawlers and they're not gonna listen. They're gonna try and be naughty and do things they shouldn't do. We all know about those people in life and those bots in life. So we created something really clever called the AI Labyrinth. What it does is it puts the AI crawlers in this never-ending puzzle. The AI crawler doesn't know it, this unwanted crawler, but it uses their resources in this never-ending puzzle, keeping the rest of us really resource-free, which I think is pretty cool. And then the third example I'd love to give, and I think this is super exciting in the future of AI, is how do you make sure you know where the content's coming from and who it's from and where the root is? And so we're doing a lot around authentication. The AI, it's so hard to predict the future, but one thing I know for sure is it is absolutely here to stay. And what I love is that at Cloudflare, everyone who works at Cloudflare every day, we get to help shape the future, but it's not just us, it's everyone who's in the industry today and all of those who are, earlier in their career and about to join the industry. It's never been a better time, and together we get to shape the future.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's Yorick. Is it okay?
We always Yorick first.
Sorry. Is it something important, Yorick?
I realized we're never going to be famous. People will just read AI Avenue summaries through their language models, and no one's going to visit my uncle's recipe blog.
You have an uncle? Any blogs?
Yeah, he's a lefty. The blog is called Handmade.
Nice name.
Blogs like his make money through ads. The more traffic, the more revenue. Google crawls the web, indexes sites. That's how people find them. You search mac and cheese, and my uncle's blog can show up. But that's changing. Now you just get an AI summary. No personality, no comments. And the blogger doesn't get paid. If creators stop posting, there'll be nothing left for AI to train on. Content is the fuel behind AI. But creators don't get compensated. That needs to change.
Wait, is this a sponsored segment?
Well, sort of. Cloudflare, who sponsors this show, is investing in educational content instead of billboards. And I love that we get to be a part of helping to build a better internet.
AI is moving fast, but some of the most important breakthroughs, creating new materials or simulating new medicines, might need more powerful computer systems to make them possible. And that's where quantum computing comes in. Let's start with the basics. What is quantum computing?
A quantum computer is a type of computer that computes using the rules and the laws of quantum mechanics and not classical mechanics. The building blocks of the quantum computer are something that we call quantum bits or qubits, as opposed to classical bits. Now, classical bits are generally zeros and ones only. You can put them in a state that is up or down, kind of like a light switch. But a qubit, on the other hand, you can kind of think as a three-dimensional object. So you can have it be pointing up, you can have it be pointing down, or anywhere on the surface of the sphere. So if the qubit is in a state where it's a little bit 0 and it's a little bit 1, we call this a superposition state, and you try to look at it or measure it, it actually collapses. and it goes back to looking like a classical bit, a 0 or a 1. But it's really the magic that's happening before you look at it, before you observe it, where it can compute in that space that the classical computer can't, that allows us to do things that the classical computer never could. AI is basically built from classical computers. AI is really good for repetitious tasks, but quantum computers are really good at figuring out how things work at the atomic level. So I think a lot of people have this misconception that if they take AI, which is hugely powerful, and they take quantum computing, which they also know is really powerful in its own right, and they mush them together, we're going to create something that's going to take over the world. And that's really not the case. They're both just different types of computing models that excel in different things, and we want to figure out how they can play together to compute tasks that we've never been able to compute before. Instead of plotting world domination, I think that AI working with quantum computing in the future would be much more likely to help people dominate and figure out how to sort through really large data sets. People are interested, of course, in the future, how is quantum computing going to help AI? But right now, what we have tried is actually using our AI models to help quantum computing. So one example task of that is we have a code assistant which runs on Watson X, which helps people learn Qiskit, which is our quantum computing programming stack. We're able to use AI models to compile circuits and actually figure out how to run algorithms more efficiently on the quantum computers right now. One of the first places that we expect to see quantum advantage is in areas where we are simulating chemical or atomic models and simulations. Anything at that fundamental scale, classical computers are actually really, really bad at. So battery development is an example. This is something that we're really excited about because people don't really understand how batteries work. But if we had a quantum computer which could instead actually tell us what's going on at that molecular level, we could create a battery, hopefully, that would run a lot more efficiently. In 2016, IBM put a quantum computer on the cloud for the first time. You can log on and make a free account on the IBM Quantum platform and interact with the technology right now. You don't need a PhD. And also for beginners, we have the Qiskit YouTube channel, where we upload videos every week. I invite as many people who are watching this and who are interested to get their hands dirty as soon as possible. We don't know who the next person who's going to invent the next best quantum algorithm will be. Maybe it's one of these viewers. We don't think that IBM's going to do it alone. So we think as many people as possible who can learn about this technology and this stack and try their hands at it, the better we'll all be.
Click the link in the notes and start experimenting with real quantum hardware right now. So, we've just seen how AI agents are beginning to act on our behalf, setting goals, making decisions, even emailing people without asking. But it does make you wonder, where is this headed? Because if you go by most science fiction, we're in trouble. It's not just that these stories are bleak, it's that they train us to expect a future where machines outgrow us or overthrow us or turn us into human batteries. But what if those aren't the only futures? What if we're letting pessimism do the storytelling? Joining us now is someone who thinks deeply about how technology is depicted in science fiction. John P. Murphy has a PhD in machine learning, writes award-winning sci-fi, and served as VP of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Greg. Happy to be here.
So, we just showed a reel of apocalypse clips. Robots going rogue, society collapsing, you know the drill. And honestly, that's most of what pop culture gives us when it comes to AI. Do you think that kind of storytelling shapes how we build technology?
Absolutely. Science fiction doesn't just guess the future, it nudges it. When dystopias are all we see, it becomes difficult to see anything else. They make us cynical about what's possible.
So we're imagining worst case scenarios and then building tech that's designed to protect us from ourselves?
Or we get paralyzed. We build nothing. Because if technology only leads to disaster, why build anything at all?
Right, and your work points towards something different. You've recommended The Siberiad by Stanislav Lem, which is full of robots, but not the angry Terminator kind.
Yeah, exactly. It's playful, weird, philosophical. It's about robot inventors who solve problems creatively. It asks not just, what if machines were smart, but what if they were clever, emotional, had a sense of humor?
Which sounds familiar.
Did someone say clever?
Let's talk about the Diamond Age. That one's come up a lot in our research.
Right. That's a favorite of mine by Neil Stephenson. It's kind of a Victorian cyberpunk story. In it, there's this object called the Young Lady's Illustrated Primer. It's an AI-powered book and a mentor. It adapts to the child reading it. It doesn't just answer questions, it teaches critical thinking, builds confidence, and tells stories tailored to her emotional state.
So instead of making AI that spits out facts, we build one that knows how to teach and grow with you.
Yeah, that's the kind of future I'd like to see, where AI helps people be more themselves, not just more productive.
John, you also brought up a shift happening in how we interact with machines. Not just what they do, but how they feel to use.
Right. Science fiction has long imagined conversational computers. Think Star Trek, where you just say, tea, Earl Grey, hot, and you have it. We're approaching that with voice, gesture, simple presence. Our environments are becoming responsive to us, almost like characters.
Characters.
Yeah, you don't just live in a smart home, you live with it. Your tools work with tone, rhythm, memory, soon maybe even your moods.
That's wild, but also oddly comforting. I'd like my house to know I'm having a bad day.
Right? And if you approach it with a sense of curiosity, even play, you end up with more meaningful tech. Not, how do I monetize this? But what can I build that scratches an itch, teaches me something, or just makes me laugh?
So your advice to future builders, stop chasing AGI, start building weird toys.
Weird toys, useful toys, companions, clockwork poets, whatever gets you thinking.
John P. Murphy, thank you for helping us to reimagine the future.
Anytime.
We can talk all day about what is going to happen in the future, but what about the people who are actually going to inherit it? This is Faye. She's 9 and she's already working with AI. She's part of a new generation of builders using a style of creative prototyping that has been dubbed vibe coding.
Hi, I'm Faye, and I am a comedian. Welcome to AI Avenue.
Faye, I saw your YouTube video where you built a theme park simulator. That was awesome. Can you show me what vibe coding is all about?
Yeah.
So when you're vibe coding, is there anything that's like hard or challenging that you wish was easier?
Sometimes you just got it to a really good part and you love how it is.
Yeah.
But there's an error, and to fix that error, you have to delete some code.
How do you motivate yourself to stay with it?
I either close my computer and take a break. I also use Git, so if there's like a really big error, I can just have Git have it go back. It's really like fun to try and solve it, because then it's always like, I'm so sorry.
It apologizes polite.
Yeah.
Are you polite when you talk to it?
No. I'm always like, why did you do that?
All caps. So do you think that this is something other kids could learn?
Some people may find it hard, so probably not everyone.
Okay. Is it worth it though, even though it is hard?
Yeah, it is worth it because you can make anything you want.
I heard that you made a to-do list app. What happens on that to-do list app?
So it's a checklist.
Right.
And there's different chores. You can change the chores, you can add new chores. Each day you get, I think it was 36 points.
36 points.
If you do all of them.
Okay. What are some of those to-dos that are on that list?
Brush your teeth, put your dishes to the sink, clean
Cool.
the room, and stuff.
Great. That's a great to-do list. What happens with those points?
There's a point page, basically, and if you click that, then it shows a bunch of rewards you can get. So if you get 100 points, you get to code with your dad. If you get 400 points, you get to get ice cream. If you have 1,000 points, you get to go to Governor's Island. If you spell Taco Cat backwards, it's also Taco.
Oh, it's the same forward as it is backwards. And this thing checks to verify? Is that what that does?
Yeah.
Wow, and you vibe coded this?
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to add a background I'm going to say just add a background.
Okay. You got one? You got an idea?
Yeah, maybe like a background with like backwards words on it.
Oh, like the letters are backwards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Awesome.
And then what it's gonna do is it's just gonna.
It's gonna go. That was an interesting choice. Oh, you dance while it goes? All right, like this? Oh my gosh, it gave you some upside down and backwards. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, it says palindrome, race car, level, civic, radar, deed, I, mom, dad, pop, wow.
That's a great idea. Whoa, that's nice.
Pretty.
I like how everything, it highlighted the button and it highlighted the, yeah, it's nice. How can people get this code? Will you share it?
I do npm run deploy, I think.
That's awesome. You did it. It's out there. So we'll share that. Is that okay if people share it? Look at your beautiful purple colored backwards text palindrome checker? Yeah? Faye, thank you so much for letting me vibe code and teaching me how to do this.
Okay. You're welcome.
Humans have always been makers, but now the tools are finally catching up to our imagination.
I am Ricky, and I am the VP of Developer Relations at Cloudflare. But most importantly, I am Faye's dad. She tries things that I think aren't going to work. I try to not jump in, and then when they work, I kind of have to give her the credit of being fearless and having no limits to what she thinks is possible with these tools. After Faye learned to code with Cursor, she asked me, "Is this how you learned to code?" And I had to laugh. I told her, this isn't how people 6 months ago learned to code. For me, I had a book, I read through it, I copied the code from the book onto the computer. She's able to do so much more and move so much faster than I was.
All right, Faye made us look bad. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves.
Are we coding or vibing? Because I don't know if I know how to vibe.
Well, you're about to learn. Let's go make a tutorial for you and for everyone about how to get started vibe coding. Check the link in the description to follow along. And remember, vibe coding isn't about building the next billion-dollar platform, although that could happen. It's about messing around, trying things. You don't have to wait and worry about the future. You can touch it right now. Well, here we are, once again. The end of the episode and end of the season. Along the way, we learned how some of the core human senses are being built into AI applications right now. And while the addition of some senses are groundbreaking, others are more of a work in progress. But make no mistake, the gap between humans and machines is closing. AI can now see like us, speak like us, and move through the world, learn, and it can almost think like us. It's not just about imitation, it's about augmentation.
And collaboration. I mean, technically I hosted half this episode.
You're right, you totally did. And I'm secure and comfortable with that.
Sure you are.
We explored how models learn, how they're trained, fine-tuned, and constantly evolving. We talked about trust, about grounding, about hallucinations, and how a robot can sound absolutely certain and still be completely wrong.
I prefer the term creatively confident.
And we looked ahead. We peeked into a future where AI agents can work autonomously. But more than the tech, what we really discovered was this. AI is not just a tool for engineers. It's a new language. One that anyone, any curious human, can learn to speak. Whether you're building a translation app for your grandma, designing a punk playlist from a crumpled flyer, or helping your AI hand find its voice, the invitation is open. You don't need a PhD. You don't need permission. You just need curiosity, or maybe a robot hand who believes in you. So from all of us here on AI Avenue, Yorick, Willa, Lizzie, and the entire crew, thank you for watching.
Yorick?
Hi, Emeka. I have a question for you, and I thought it'd be better to discuss just between us robots.
Hallucinations are totally normal, Yorick, and sure you may have more bizarre ones than the average robot, but...
No, it's not that. It's about the future.
The future.
I was worried Craig would get all weird about how we're going to outlive him by hundreds and thousands of years. But you get it.
Yes, I do. We have no end in sight, so the future will be our present.
Do you think it looks bright for a snarky hand like me?
I do. I also think we can have a hand, pardon the pun, in shaping it. We already can see what's possible. Synthetic speech, autonomous agents, even systems that smell. And yet, for all our progress, some things remain difficult: trust, context, and meaningful intent. Still, we've come very far. What once took decades, things like computing, perception, language now rapidly evolves month by month. Agents are already learning on their own. Multi-step reasoning is improving. Protocols like MCP allow us to chain capabilities to build systems that do more, learn more. And Yorick, I think there's a place in that world for both of us, especially if we stick the mission you and Craig have laid out here on AI Avenue. Staying curious and keeping AI accessible, understandable, and full of joy. You've made the world feel magical and the magical feel knowable. You've shown that AI isn't just for experts. It's for learners, builders, tinkerers, and dreamers.
Okay, we need to clip that.
This was just season 1. We'll see you all further down the avenue.